Hi everyone, I'm BritSimon. So in a few days' time, the green card lottery will be starting again. It's a really good year to apply this year. There's a good chance of winning, better than most years. I can explain why, and let's go and have a look.
Okay, so why am I saying that there is a good chance to win in DV 2022? Well, it comes down to the number of people entering the lottery. We know that in every year there's a set number of visas available for the winners of the lottery. It's a number, it's 55,000, give or take a few hundred visas. And those visas are spread out throughout the whole world in 6 regions, although one region is so small we barely talk about it, but there are 5 main regions apart from that one. So those regions are Africa, Asia, Europe, Oceania, and South America. All right. Now, your chance of winning in any particular region is based on how many people enter the lottery in that region and how many visas are going to be allocated to that region. So 55,000 visas will be allocated overall, but they're split up between the regions so that Africa gets the largest chunk of visas, around about 23 to 24,000. Asia gets around about 8,500. Europe gets just under 20,000, typically around that sort of level. Oceania gets less than 1,000, and South America gets less than 2,000. That's how things are split up. So your chance of winning in any one region is dependent on the number of people entering the lottery. So what I can show you now is the official data that shows how many entries there are in every particular year from 2019, 2020, and 2021. And so I'm going to show you that data now. Okay, so here's the data. As you can see, in 2019, there were about 7.8 million entries, and with family members added on top of about 3 million people, that meant that in Africa, there were nearly 11 million people entering. There's only 20,000 visas, 23,000 visas, so your chances are very small, 23,000 in 11 million entries. That's how things worked out. In the same way, Asia had, in that same year, 2019, 1.8 million entries, as you can see. There were family members as well as those 1.8 million, an additional 1.4 million people. And so that meant that the entries, the 1.8 million entries, covered 3.2 million people. And so you can carry on, you can see the numbers here, 4.3 million for Europe in that same year. And 3.2 million family, that's 7.6 million. You get the idea. So basically, in 2019, there were 14.2 million entries globally for 55,000 visas, and there were actually 22 million people on those 14.2 million entries. And what I mean by that is if an individual person enters, they include the numbers for that person's spouse and any children they have. So husband, wife, and 2 kids would be a family of 4. That's 4 out of the 22 million number you see there. So 22 million people entered the lottery in 2019. Let's look at the next year. 2020, again, we see there's about 22 million people that entered the lottery in that year, right? Now, if we look at DV 2021, which is the year that's about to start, you can see there was a dramatic, huge reduction in the number of entries. It went from 14 million entries down to 6.5 million entries. And it went from 22 million people on those entries down to 11.4 million people. What caused that was almost entirely the impact of the new rule with regard to passports. You have to have now a valid passport on the day you enter. You have to have that passport. And what that really was designed to do, and what it did do, was it cut down fraud. So you'll see that there are certain countries, and I could show you the data specifically for countries, this is just the high level, but there are certain countries where there were high levels of multiple entries going on prior to this, and so people would enter multiple times. They've stopped that now, and that means that your chance of getting selected has roughly doubled, because there's half as many entries in there now. And admittedly, obviously, some of those people might have been caught before, but still, your chances have certainly improved. So this year, DV 2022 is going to be an excellent year to enter. It'll behave much like DV 2021 because the new rule was implemented for 2021. It's still there in 2022. So really, this is a good year for you to enter.
Okay, I hope that was helpful. Now listen, if you can just quickly subscribe to my channel, I'd be very grateful. Give me a thumbs up, like as well. And I'll help you all the way through the process to make sure that you have the best chance possible. All right, cheers now. Bye-bye.